not a lot of quarterbacks, Mary Kay, are still with their teams that were taken in the top 5. And so we're going to go all the way back to 2009. And we're going to look at these quarterbacks. And right, Baker Mayfield is the only one, right?
Yeah, out of 14 quarterbacks drafted in the top 5 from 2009 to 2018, that 10-year span. Of those 14 quarterbacks, he is the only one that is still left with his original team. And I just find that to be really a mind-blowing stat, especially as we are heading towards a draft in Cleveland in a couple of weeks, where as many as 5 quarterbacks could go in the top 5, right? So it's just kind of amazing to think that that it worked out this way for guys that, of course, when their teams drafted them, they all thought that that guy was going to be the one to take them to the promised land. And it's just a very interesting statistic, I think.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at these guys. We're going to go all the way back to 2009. Take a look, kind of throw out maybe why it didn't work and how that pertains to Baker Mayfield, why the Browns have avoided that so far. And obviously, look, 2009, 2018, different sample sizes, but why the Browns might be built to avoid that, or maybe why it might be something to keep an eye on as they move forward. And we start with Matthew Stafford, went number 1 in 2009. He was the Lions' reward for going 0-16. When you guys look at Matthew Stafford, there were 2 quarterbacks taken in the top 5 in this draft. So we'll start with Stafford. Like why didn't it work out? I just have bad organization written down. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah, and you know what? When you look at these 14 quarterbacks, 5 of them have moved on from their team just this offseason. 5 of them. And Matthew Stafford is one of them, but not because he's not good. He's the one guy that moved on from his drafting team this offseason because a team wanted to upgrade their quarterback position. And obviously they traded Matthew Stafford. They traded for him. The Rams did, and sent Jared Goff, who's also on this list, to the Detroit Lions. So Matthew Stafford is one of the guys on this list, and there are not many. He's one of the guys on this list that is a really, really darn good quarterback. A starting caliber quarterback that, like you said, Dan, just landed with a bad organization. I mean, he has got, when you don't even realize all the accolades for Matthew Stafford, but, 4th quarterback in NFL history to throw for more than 5,000 yards in a single season, fastest player in the NFL to reach 40,000 yards. I mean, he did a lot of amazing things, and he just got stuck on a team that didn't support him, didn't surround him with every single thing that he needed to be successful. And I'm very anxious to see how this works out for him with the Rams.
Yeah, when people talk about all the quarterback movement this offseason, they're usually talking about quarterbacks who didn't work out, but Stafford's always kind of lumped into this group, and he really shouldn't be because he was there for a decade, and nobody's looked at Matthew Stafford and said, well, that's a quarterback who just didn't work out, or he's the problem there. Nobody saw that. It's always been what's around him, what the Lions did or didn't do, to make the team better around him. And I'm looking at, since he's been there at 3 playoff appearances, all wild card games, all losses. And, they never built off that, and that's not his fault.
So there's 2 kind of veins on this then with Baker Mayfield. The first is he was certainly heading down this path early in his career where it was just chaos around him, different coaches, different coordinators, but the Browns seem to have stabilized that. So that's good. But then there's the other part that you just mentioned, Scott. It's that continuing, whenever this kind of stretch ends where they just have all this talent around him, right? And Odell and, they've got to find ways to continue to build this and continue to make this successful around him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? This past offseason, I think was the year that the Browns really made that major commitment to Baker Mayfield in every single way. And I remember when I interviewed Drew Stanton, not that they did it because of Drew Stanton, but he sort of captured the essence of what needed to happen. He sat in front of Jimmy Haslam and he said, here's what you guys need to do. I mean, you guys need to put all your eggs in Baker Mayfield's basket and do every single thing that you can to help this young man be successful because he has what it takes. And you've got to give him this opportunity. And when you look at the offseason, it's basically what they did. They got Alex Van Pelt, Kevin Stefanski. They built the offensive line. They committed to the running game. They upgraded the defense. This is all designed to help Baker Mayfield get this team to the next level, which of course they're hoping is the Super Bowl.